On the blackest nights we sail through fog, two voices echo from the salty bog, with tales of movies and actors bold. Host Josh and Jillian, their stories unfold. Hold fast the wheel, listen to Jive, the Blank Podcast where legends vibe. From silver screens to haunted dreams, in Josh and Jillian's twisted schemes. Brought to you by Anchor Bay Entertainment. Now here's your hosts, Josh and Jillian.
We're back.
We're back. Hey, I noticed that we keep saying welcome back to the plank. I don't know. Does that work?
I mean, for audience members that have watched an episode and now they're watching another one, welcome back.
Yeah, I like it.
Welcome back and welcome. I'm just saying, like, the whole thing, like, welcome back, welcome. I mean, is it?
Let's not overcomplicate it.
Is it?
I have something. I've been waiting to talk to you about.
All right.
What's my favorite movie? We've talked about it.
Of all time?
Was like my obsession.
Okay, Death Becomes Her.
Guess what I saw on Broadway.
Oh shit! That's a play?
It's a musical
Where?
now.
In New York.
In New York, on Broadway.
On Broadway.
Yeah. I saw it.
Who's in it?
I think I brought the playbill.
Who's in it? Like who plays the roles?
So it is. I knew you'd ask this question. It is
Questions.
Megan Hilty as Madeline, who was Meryl Streep. And then is Jennifer Simard as Helen Sharp. She's a 2-time Tony Award, 5-time Drama Desk, 3-time Drama League, and Lucille Lortel Award nominee. But Megan Hilty, her bio has been lauded as the best actress of her generation. The countless accolades of her career include 9 Golden Globe Awards, 21 Oscar nominations, winning 3 for Kramer vs. Kramer in 1979, Sophie's Choice, and The Iron Lady. President Barack Obama awarded her...
That's Meryl Streep.
She took Meryl Streep's IMDb bio
Oh my God.
and put it as her playbill on Broadway.
That's fucking
fucking rock star, man.
That's fucking illegal.
Oh, it's not.
It's
She goes, when people asked her about it, she was like, well, only Meryl Streep can play this role, so I might as well take
Dude,
Meryl
I
Streep's bio. And I was
love
like,
this
I was like,
That
you're naming these
is
movies and these
so
Oscars. Like, I
fierce.
don't even know this person.
That's
I
fierce as hell.
put it together.
But yeah, I saw it. It was amazing. I loved it. It was everything I wanted and more. And I got to take 3 of my friends, and it was awesome.
Who played? You might have already mentioned. Who played Bruce Willis? Is that did you say their name?
No, I didn't.
Leave out men's names.
Yeah. What's that all
What's the
about?
Christopher Sieber. He was on
Chris Severson?
he was on Broadway for The Company and The Prom and Matilda and Pippin and La Cage aux Folles and Shrek. He's been nominated for a Tony and a Drama Desk.
Also not his IMDb.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Yeah, really.
But-
now I believe nobody's playbill fucking credits.
That's cool. That's
Go
one of my
see it.
favorites.
That's awesome.
It's a really amazing film.
The best.
How long is it on Broadway?
I don't know. Hopefully they get a really long run.
No, I mean how long was the play?
2.5 hours.
So longer than the movie.
Yeah.
Like they just
Well, they added
stretch
songs.
it out. That's
even
right,
know.
songs.
And
They
dancing.
don't sing and dance and
And not in Death
In
Becomes
Death
Her.
Becomes Her?
Meryl Streep is not tap dancing with her neck twisted around.
But you didn't. What is a song like they would sing?
What's in a name? What do you mean?
Like, what do they sing?
Oh,
Like for like that because
she's
is it like original stuff or are they?
yeah, it's obviously it's not a jukebox musical.
Okay.
I hate a jukebox musical. No, it's really good. It's like her being like there's one that's like, oh, drink this like eternal life, and it's oh my god, it's freaking it's oh my god, I hate myself, and this is so bad. It's Michelle Williams as Viola. Michelle Williams from
Michelle Williams, like
Yeah.
from. Yeah, I mean
Heath
Ledger's ex
from Destiny's Child.
What?
No, from Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
Not Michelle. No, I was thinking Michelle Williams, the actress
best
from
actress.
fucking.
No, the
Yeah.
Grammy Award-winning singer.
But Michelle Williams from
Blue Valentine.
Blue Valentine.
So many things.
That movie with Casey Affleck. That.
And then that movie. Sorry, you guys
That
talk.
movie's-
I'm not in this
Oh,
part.
it's fine.
What was that movie called? Tom, what was that movie?
We might as well bring Augie into the conversation.
Now, hold on a second. I have like. I was gonna. like stuff.
Okay, well, can we at least say who's in the...
We're going to. I'm going to say it. We know. Augie, it's no surprise. Augie Duke's here. You know, Augie Duke's always going to be laughing and interrupting because she's just...
Classic, as we all know.
If you want to be like, hey, cut, who's laughing in the background? It's Augie.
It's Augie Duke.
Ruining the take. I'm just kidding.
I'm a really good audience member, though.
She is.
I am. So let me just laugh and enjoy watching you guys.
Bring her to the Magic Castle.
She loves to laugh. Okay, I was just gonna say you've been out of town.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what did you do? I said, where are you always going?
Where am I always going?
Oh, did my light come on?
Yeah. I was in New York. My friend's on Broadway in Romeo and Juliet.
So you were just on Broadway like all week.
I saw 2 shows.
I
was there for 4 days. But yeah.
50% of the time.
That's true. That was 50%. And then I got to see my friend's band. That was cute. And then I had to record for Coles.
Which you can talk about now.
Which I can talk about now.
Let's talk about that because...
Yeah, if you have heard or seen a Coles holiday ad, it's a high chance that it's my voice in the background. Winter styles that'll turn heads. Especially if you don't read the full text thread. Okay. Coles, where families come first.
It's pretty impressive.
It's pretty fun. Coles isn't paying that much, so I still gotta do my job.
Coles. It's not like...
Where families come first.
It's not like Macy's. So I feel like you're going on all these trips. I feel like we talk about your trips like a lot.
I've been on 2 trips.
We should call this show. It's gonna be Jillian's Adventures in Travel.
The Plank featuring Jillian's travel tips.
Yeah, featuring Jillian's travel tips, like just at the end or.
No, I went to Europe for my friend's wedding, and then I went to New York to see my friend on Broadway. And that's all my only trips.
Yeah, but you know what? I need a trip. I'm going. Actually,
you went to Chicago.
That doesn't even count. I'm
That's
from
a trip.
Chicago. All right, I'm going to Portland. Which, by the way,
my brother's in.
Which, by the way,
strippers.
Yes. So I'm cutting our last episode with Jeff Daniel Phillips, and you're like, oh, we were talking about Sean Baker's movie.
Yeah.
Honora.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, I know a ton of strippers in Portland and I'm like, I'm going to Portland.
Yeah.
And my friend...
I don't know how I feel about you seeing my friends at the strip club, though.
Wait, are they your friends or are they strippers that you met when they were strippers?
So they're my brothers. So my brother was with his girl for 9 years, and she was a stripper. I don't know if my parents know that, so now they do. Oh, man.
She's gonna call me in the middle of the week. She's like, can you cut
my brother's
that
gonna
part?
be like, what the fuck? But anyway, I don't really care. And they broke up, so
Wait,
now
they broke up, but she was a stripper the whole 9 years?
She was a stripper for like, I think 6 of the years, and then 2 Thanksgivings ago, I'm at Thanksgiving dinner, and then I was like, oh yeah, all my friends are gonna come to this dinner, and I was like, okay, yeah, great, Thanksgiving with your friends. And then I realized, I was like, oh, my dad is at a Thanksgiving dinner with like the majority of strippers at the table. And that's funny.
Did he know they were strippers?
No. I think my brother said that she was a cocktail waitress. What is a cocktail waitress?
A cocktail waitress is like...
It's a cocktail waitress.
Like that, what you're doing. You hold a tray like this, and you serve a cocktail on it.
A cocktail?
Just one.
Isn't that just a waitress?
Yeah. I mean, I guess... I don't know. Like waitress, you might think of Chili's. You know, somebody serving fajitas and fucking like...
What happens when she brings me a
burgers.
margarita? Is she not a cocktail waitress?
Margarita's a cocktail.
I know, that's my point.
Yeah. Okay, so I think it goes back to like there's a okay. I think here. Listen, I think I've been in the bar restaurant industry for a long time, and they there's a cocktail lounge like the bar area, and that's usually like either the waiter or waitresses that have been there for a long time. They want to serve the people in just that area, and then the waiters go and they serve out the kids and like the families and shit. And so the cocktail waitress is more like you're serving adults and alcoholics and creeps.
This is fascinating.
Yeah,
Can we talk about our guests?
Just one.
Well, hold on a second. Wait a minute. You just gonna leave it at? I'm not gonna tell you where my friends.
Cocktail.
First of all, I'm not a strip club like connoisseur. I can go to strip clubs, but my friend that I'm going to see, she loves strip clubs. She's a lesbian. She has just broke up with her girlfriend. She's like, we're gonna go to tons of strip clubs. And I was like, well, if we are, let me ask Jillian, like, do all your stripper friends work at the same strip club?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I just didn't know if they were all different, like, strip clubs.
No, they're all at one. And the T is like, it's my brother's ex-girlfriend's friends.
Sweet.
So I also don't even know if she still works there because I haven't, like, been allowed to talk to her. No, you actually, if I told you what she looked like, you would be able to point her out immediately. Immediately. She has very distinct hair, and I would leave it at that.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, can we now talk about our guest?
Well, there was some stuff.
Why is it in typewriter font?
I don't know. It's cool though, right? Because I typed it on a typewriter earlier.
Did you type this
That's
out?
what took me so long. I was like,
you-
I had to use whiteout.
Is that you? You typed that out?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Look at you.
It was just the font. I don't know. It was from notes, Anyway, you're so impatient right now.
I'm not impatient. I just want to talk to our guest about her and not about cocktail
the
Yeah,
witches.
but I
It's the
so much
anticipation.
enjoy this so much
The
more though.
anticipation. I know you do, but earlier you were like, I don't know what to talk to Augie about. Now you're
That's
all
not
of a-
true. I said
now
it's-
you're all of a
No,
sudden.
that's not true. You said, are you going to print out conversations? I was like, no, it's just going to be a conversation. You said, are you
We
going to print out
would- if it
questions?
was
And I was
just-
like, no, it's just going to be a conversation.
If it was just me and her, we'd talk about our periods and how I'm having an early life crisis.
Also,
and-
why are you trying to put me on the spot like that? That was so fucked up.
She,
Look
he's
at
a-
Augie's shoes.
I hate you.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
are introducing
You
her
gotta. By the
slowly.
way, you gotta punch him in the face later. It's very Josh.
It's like all I think about when I
Yeah,
go to
yeah,
sleep at
yeah.
night is
Yeah.
just
Wow.
punching Josh.
Is that like counting sheep? You just like punch me, and just like put you to sleep because you get tired. How, have you,
You,
if
you
you
know,
punch-
like
if you get punching
internally
somebody-
right now, she's like, I'm gonna fucking kill this guy.
Yeah. I can
I
guarantee
I
you
like to
wouldn't get
antagonize
tired.
people that are easy to antagonize. Anyway, all right. Are you gonna introduce her? Or you want me to?
I hate you.
You want to introduce her? Go ahead, introduce her.
Augie Duke, thank you so much for coming on the plank. I know that you're a good friend of Josh, and you guys met how? You want to talk about that?
Am I a good friend of Josh Wagner? Who's that? Are you Josh Wagner?
You have friends?
You have friends?
I have acquaintances.
That's crazy.
Is she too close to the mic?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't think so.
It's kind of like my little.
I think she's perfect.
how do I know Augie? Okay. The first time I met Augie,
Camping,
camping.
sleepaway camp,
Camping?
which is so weird, right?
Camping.
We were all camping and we were there.
There was Josh Russell was there, who's a special
Yeah, and I worked with him on something else, and I'm forgetting.
him
blanking.
and his wife's name is.
Did he do the Badger game
He
with
worked
us?
on Badger Game.
That's right. Okay. Yeah.
We're
And
going
I
to talk
tr-
about the Badger game. I finally seen it.
She finally seen it.
I've known Josh for 4 years, 3.5 years.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I just watched his movie.
Yeah, I have a hard time. I don't know, as an actor, you guys don't. I have a hard time watching anything with me in it. You know what I mean?
but
So
you have to.
you have to, right? But like, if I go back to that, and if I were to watch it, because I think you showed a clip in another podcast, and I was like, oh God, why
Well,
did I do that?
You're
Like,
blonde.
well, there's that. That just number one, I was blonde, which was like, why? No. I just, I have such a hard time watching myself and things back in the day. I'm like, man, I think we're all our hardest critiques, right?
For sure.
We're so hard on ourselves. So when I go back and I watch things, I'm like, oh my God, why the fuck did I do that? Why did I make that choice? But like, I don't know. Just, it's
I mean, but we get to watch you kind of grow as your career goes because going back to like
Yeah.
bad kids go to
Yeah.
hell and before you're
That was-
just like
yeah.
I feel like that's so relatable, even for people that aren't actors. Like, you see yourself in, like, I don't know, some
Just
Snapchat
anything.
from, like, 5 years ago, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassing. I feel bad for people that are going to look back at their TikToks in, like, 5 years and be like,
she sounds so young. TikTok, Snapchat. I'm like, oh my God.
and you're like a mom, so
Cool
you're
mom.
like you're like
I am such a mom now, which is so crazy because I feel like once I became a mom, I also reduced in age. Like now I'm 12. I'm a mother who's 12.
yeah.
It's weird. Like
That's
I feel like I'm
awesome.
rewinding. Like
That's so
I'm,
fun.
No, it's not. That's a lie. I'm 12 and also 85. Like I'm an old lady.
I feel that way
Do you?
too.
Yeah, dude.
I also have a bad back, so that doesn't help.
You
I
have a
like
bad back
I have a
already?
fracture in my spine.
Oh well, I hope you don't have to get a back surgery.
I think I do.
You probably have to get
I
back surgery.
probably. It's a whole thing.
Physical.
We don't
thing.
need
Yeah.
to talk about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
No.
Acupuncture could help, and
I've heard that helps.
Yeah.
Have you tried it?
I did for my severe anxiety.
Love. Did it work?
EFT.
Did.
That's
Did
like
you do
it's
that?
basically your meridian point. So
Yeah.
it's what they put the needles on, like in your face and like. On
Well,
your ribs
Josh and I are similar with our sense. I know that we have we come from internal sensitivity and emotions.
You feel a lot.
We feel a lot.
I don't know
Josh is like, what are you
fucking
talking about? I'm
about.
wearing a fucking Christmas
Fucking
t-shirt. I don't know what
blasting
you're
me
talking about.
out on my own show.
Josh, tell me how you feel right now. To be honest, can I tell you guys,
What?
since we're
Yes,
being so
get
real
into it.
already,
Yeah.
is I almost didn't come today because I was like, wow, you know how those weeks where you just feel so super shitty about yourself and you're just like, I don't want to go on a fucking podcast and talk about fucking movies and stuff.
I
I,
know the
feel like
first
shit
part.
about myself.
Aw, but you're so pretty.
I want to be really like transparent. It's just like I have these moments, and they're always first world problem moments, right? Where I'm like, man, like I'm not in the mindset that I feel like great in. I'm in such a like there's little things that happened this week that sort of fucked me up in so many different ways, which is like a learning curve. We have those weeks, right? Where you're like, ooh, it's like you're 10 steps forward and you're like 20 steps back, right? And that happened this week. And I'm like, wow, okay, what do I do here? And I'm like pushing through, but here I am. I came.
It's only uphill from
The
there.
diva is a female version of a hustler.
Hustler. Period.
Damn.
Period.
I like that.
It's Beyonce.
But I told you this was gonna
It's
be.
Beyonce.
And he would never know
You
that.
would never
I would
know
never.
that.
I do like Beyonce. I think she's
Dude,
beautiful. I
I
think
would love
she's got
to
a great
just
voice. But I
give
She's
her
the
a
queen
high
of America.
she's.
I mean, I'm
she's a
part of the
queen.
Beehive.
Yeah,
like,
man. That girl's
Beehive.
that woman's a
Are you a
queen.
Swiftie? No. Are you a Swiftie?
Love her.
Love her.
I love her.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a Swiftie. I'm not like, but I think she's a badass.
Yeah.
I like Billie. I'm more of a Billie Eilish girl.
Oh, T.
Yeah.
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 I love her.
More
She's great.
Billie.
What's T mean?
I don't know
Like,
either.
that.
Tea?
Well, do you know what T? Like, oh, that's
You said
the
it in the
tea?
last episode. Like it's
What
instead
is
of
T? I know,
instead
I
of
need
saying
to-
love, now you're saying T. So I'm just trying to keep up with you.
Okay.
Just trying to keep up with you.
Do you know what that's tea means?
No.
Okay, so like when someone says, "Okay, I'm gonna spill the tea," that means that they're gonna like talk gossip.
Spill the beans.
Yeah, spill the beans. Sure. So we're
Okay.
we're on track. We're
We're
on
on
the
track.
road.
Yeah.
So spilling the tea, someone would be like, "Oh, is like if it's really good gossip, it'd be like, "Oh, that's hot tea." Like is the tea hot? If someone's like, "I have tea," they'd be like, "Is the tea hot?" So it's
that's-
like
oh,
it's like
tea.
gossip.
What would green tea be?
But like when someone goes like, "Oh, that's tea," it's usually saying like, "Oh, that's really interesting," like, "Oh," or like, "Oh, that's something that someone wouldn't normally know," and you're kind of like spilling that, like, "Oh, that's a little tea."
You
That's
need to
tea, that's
teach
like-
us the lingo, man, because I
Is it-
really there's a lot of things that
I'm
I'm
trying.
like, and I just pretend that I know. I pretend
Black
that I know.
tea, green tea.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, and I
No,
pretend I know.
it's more like
But
hot
okay,
or cold
can we talk
tea.
about one more thing and then we don't?
iced tea.
I wanna talk about
ghosting. What is this?
Oh.
This is weird.
That's simpler than tea, I feel
Yeah,
like.
I mean ghosting.
But that's not
You're a
been
ghost.
around-
You're there, and now you're gone.
See,
What do you
yeah,
mean?
but like ghost, you know, like the lingo, like oh,
Yeah,
I was
ghosting.
ghosted.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
that
usually-
wasn't around for a long
Usually,
time.
well,
No, that's
usually
true.
that terminology wasn't, but people were ghosting. It's usually like when you don't want to deal with someone anymore, and you're just like,
Yeah, but
But think about this: before cell phones, if you went on a date with someone and you didn't like the date, you didn't fucking call them. That's ghosting.
Yeah, but-
is that ghosting? I don't
Well,
know.
No, I mean, that's
You're-
what I do.
Well, yeah, but you.
I
But
mean, I'm like, I don't know.
yeah, but okay. So sometimes it's mutual. I think ghosting, but I don't know what's. But like that's. I don't know if that's ghosting. Ghosting's maybe you've been together for a month. Maybe you're seeing someone and then you just.
No, I mean, I'm on your side. I don't know if we're on the right side, but I'm on your side where it's like, yeah, what else am I going to do? To give you a long text or call you up on the phone just to tell you that I don't want to go out on a second date?
Well, if it's one date, I don't know.
Yeah.
Ghosting's more like. I feel like it's a little. Like more than one date. Like
Yeah.
then it's just like
yeah.
who cares?
Yeah,
I feel like
like, if you're
ghosting
like-
is like. Maybe there's a little bit of. Connection involved, maybe.
One person definitely has feelings.
Yeah.
And then the other person
I could
definitely
talk
The
about
doesn't.
this
ghost
for an
does
hour.
not have feelings.
I don't.
Okay, so
I'm not a big fan.
I wasn't
of ghosting.
texting my friend Sean back at a point. He goes, "Hey, you're acting kind of ghosty,"
Okay, that's not how you use it.
and he sent
funny.
and he sent
I think that's
but he sent a
funny.
ghost emoji.
Are we talking about Sean Whalen?
No, I would never ghost Sean Whalen.
I think it's fucked up. I think it's a little fucked up.
You know what though?
Yeah.
It's what happens is
fucked up.
all these fucked up things happen, and then you just kind of get used to them. So then we all become
And then
fucked
we're just
up.
and then we're just numb. To
Yeah,
it.
I think that's what life. I think that's what life is.
Just
Being
like
sad.
when
Just
you
being
well no it's
sad.
just accepting the
being
world
let down.
just being sad.
accepting disappointing things until you become old. So like everybody's always like, why is that old person so mad, why is that old person so grumpy? It's because you gradually acquiesce to society's new fucking games.
So then what's the purpose of life?
Well, the purpose of life, I mean, is to get to that point, and the purpose of life
To crankiness?
is probably not to let it bother you as much as most people do. It's just battling that shit, battling your own inner fucking
Crankiness?
You know, some people probably doesn't bother. I mean, I'm sure people get ghosted and they're like, okay, cool, whatever. And some people are like, I can't fucking believe it, and they're pissed off. And then if you are one
I'm
of those,
somewhere in the middle.
and then if you are one of those people, it's to grow.
Yeah. Speaking of
growing, you were growing up in LA, and what led you to acting?
Oh Jesus,
And
that
this
question.
she's an actress. so
Jillian,
this
that was a
is-
good question.
Hey, thanks. I had
What-
to segue to you somehow.
Well, she was the one asking about ghosting. It was like
Let her answer.
It was like she was the host.
Fucking love you
We
guys.
haven't even talked about one of her 500
I know you
movies
haven't
yet.
let me ask her.
So Jillian asked, "What led me?"
I sure did. I'm so curious. I really want to know.
That's a real. I don't know what led me to acting. I don't know. I liked make believe and talking to myself as a kid, and I think it kind of started when I was like 6 years old. And it's very classic. It's a very LA story when my parents were getting divorced. Okay.
Classic.
And yeah, madness
Yes.
going on around me,
Yes,
and then
ensued.
me, going into the room and playing make believe and finding solace and happiness, by myself with like books and dolls and headless Barbies and you know what I mean? Like that's where I found it. That's where I found love, and it kind of just started from there. But I never really started the business until Tom. I love Tom.
What's
there's
happening?
we just saw people making noise out.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay,
didn't
great.
hear
I
it.
didn't tell him to hear
But-
it. Go sit on the hill.
But yeah, I think that's kind of where it started. Is that where
Yeah.
it started for you too? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, I didn't go and tell my parents like, "Oh, I really want to be in a play." It was just kind of like they didn't know what to do with me, and so they were like asking. They were like, "What are you having your kids do?" And they're like, "Oh, I think my kid's gonna go do this like little play in this dance
Yeah.
company or whatever." And then they were like, "Great, sign Jillian up." And then, yeah, I don't know. And then community theater, I did a little bit here and
Yeah.
there. But what got you, like, what was the first thing you ever did?
Well, I mean, I did plays like you when I was a kid. My mom put me in like a local play in like Santa Monica. where
Yeah.
we grew up. But the first work I ever did was much later in my like 20s. I
Really?
booked a French commercial.
Oui.
AGF Insurance.
Do you
and
speak
had to
French?
well, I tried, but then they have a voice dub over me because I fucking sucked at it.
Cool.
And I was like, oh, AGF. I tried really, really hard.
And then you threw it on your resume. I speak French.
Of course.
Good.
Don't you let's look back at those resumes, guys. Didn't they tell you to just put everything?
Yeah.
Right? Just Augie, you know everything. Okay. And now you look back and you're like, wow, that's terrifying. I know none of
You
that.
know karate. You speak
Yeah,
Spanish. You speak
yeah.
French.
Yeah, of course.
Black belt.
Of course.
Black belt.
But yeah,
karate.
AGF Insurance commercial.
But you also, that's how you know actors. Like, that's how
Yeah.
like, that's how I know the real deal is if you do theater. That's how I think. Like,
Think
a true
theater's-
actor does theater.
Theater's
Like,
a good way
and
to
some
learn
of the
training.
best,
Theater's a good way to learn training.
Yeah, and that's how you know you're going to you're going to deal with someone who's professional on set.
It's
I
also,
agree
like-
with that.
Yeah, because theater is an actor's medium, and like all of the others are like TV's a writer's medium, film's a director's medium. So like I think to really, and I'm not saying you have to do theater to be a good actor, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But I do think that it's a really good way to like get the training in and to understand what your art form is as an actor, rather than where's your place in the whole puzzle.
Right.
As it is for, like,
100%.
TV.
When I made my first movie in Michigan, I went
Go
and- The Sweepers. It was called Conscious Behavior at the time, but it was a feature. And I went and I found my actors at theater performances.
Yeah.
Like I would find out where where these plays were, and I would just go scout them.
I have huge stage fright. So I have the utmost respect for theater actors.
What do you mean you have stage fright?
It's so different if you put me in front of a camera and we do that cut takes. I know I can rely on if I fuck up, it's fine. We can do it again. And there's something that I have so much respect for theater actors because they have to be on.
You did theater.
When I was a kid. But then, and then I never did it again. And then I think, in the pandemic, I did like a Zoom play.
Oh, crazy. crazy.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Everyone
I
was
had
so
friends-
Zoom
desperate to
play,
work.
yeah.
I had friends that had to do like Romeo and Juliet with like full masks on and like 12 feet apart.
Jesus.
And I was
Yes,
like,
it was so weird.
what do you mean?
You'd be great, Juliet.
Thank you.
Yeah, you would be.
Thank you.
But yeah,
That means a
anyway,
lot.
it's so
that was
I
my
love.
audition monologue.
Was
for
it?
School, yeah, Gallop a pace.
Oh my god.
Got in.
Look at her.
So
Shakespeare.
what was the time from doing theater to booking that commercial?
Well, I didn't. I was a kid when I did theater, and I never did it again because it freaked me out. As I got older, things got more fearful.
How'd you get into film?
My family is, some of them are in the film business, and then some of them are therapists. So it's like the perfect LA family.
Whoa, that's a lot for an actor.
And then here I am, completely
Her
fucked
mom's
up.
Patty Duke,
No, but
and her
Do you-
dad's John Wayne the Duke.
okay, let's talk about. Okay, you want to hear? I booked a show because the guy, swear to God, the guy thought my mom was Patty Duke and had a big crush on her. And on set, he was like, ask her. And the director, I'm like, what does he want to ask me? And then his assistant was like, okay, he wants to know that now that I've booked this job, is your mom Patty Duke? And I go, nope.
No.
But I know
You're
her
too
son.
young.
But I know her son, Sean Astin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sean Astin.
And he's one of the most amazing human beings in the world. But it's a weird connection that I have with her, but we are not related whatsoever.
Hey, I get
My
that.
mom is
Jennifer
Freddie Duke.
Garner, James Garner.
You look, yes.
in middle school.
But
people
also
would be
you
"Is
look
Jennifer
like-
Garner-" I'd be
totally.
yeah, she's my aunt.
You
I'd
should
be like,
say
really?
that. Yeah.
No. Obviously not. And then James Garner, people are like, oh, is James Garner your grandfather? And I go, yeah, he is. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, the insurance salesman in Macomb, Illinois.
His name is James Garner.
So is my brother's.
Even better, though.
My brother's name is James
Oh,
Garner.
I thought you said so is your brother's grandfather's name.
Well,
James
yes,
Garner.
that's also true.
That's-
Because
seems
it's
like it would
both
be
of
true.
our grandfathers.
Well, that's
Because
his
he's my
Wagner's.
brother.
And then there's Wagner.
That's what
Gardner.
I thought you were saying.
It's a great last.
Robert
It's a
Wagner.
great last name.
Robert Wagner.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But that's why I have to go by my full name to kind of differentiate.
But yeah, it's
And
fucking-
John Astin is Sean Astin's stepdad, not his real dad.
The whole
I thought it was-
Hollywoody, it's such a weird 6 degrees of separation, especially when you're from LA.
Yeah.
There's so many weird things that you like. Remember 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever?
Yeah.
Remember that whole
Yeah,
thing?
of
Well,
course.
there's like 6 degrees of every
Augie Duke.
Josh Wagner.
No, but I
Maybe
do
like 1 degree because we've known each other for way too long.
I literally think that everyone from LA is 1 degree of separation. From each
I
other.
genuinely, we probably are related.
Yeah. Our moms went to high school together. or
No,
something.
your mom's much younger. We're just a little bit older.
Yeah,
You're like, I don't know.
My mom's 63.
She's young.
Okay.
She's young. My mom's in her 70s. But
Hear
she
that,
looks
Colleen?
good. She looks good.
You're young.
She looks
She's
good.
young.
Her mom's in Sour Party, which we'll talk about.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
she
right. I
is.
completely. You just reminded me.
Your
She's
mom's in
amazing.
Sour Party like as much as you are.
Well, we used her house.
She's
I
like,
know as much
"Please
as
just
we are.
come,
Well, that
showered."
whole STEM thing from Sour Party. I'll tell
We
you
didn't
the
even
story.
fucking get to see you at the end. All right, hold
Okay.
on. First, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
We'll get
okay.
there.
They've got attitude.
Fuck you.
They've got opinions.
It looks like you shat yourself.
And they're living the American dream.
You want to do sex work now? What, like it's hard?
But when life throws them a mild inconvenience,
I'm just calling you to remind you about the baby shower tomorrow. You forgot, didn't you?
they'll set out on the adventure of a lifetime.
Let's talk about
Your
how
mom?
pregnant I was.
Oh.
I was 2 weeks I was about to have Elvis.
You
Well,
were
that
like
works, 'cause
you were
you're
like
supposed to be
fucking
pregnant.
10 months pregnant.
No, you guys.
You
I
were, like,
literally,
so
Are you
pregnant.
ready for this? Okay. I had a fucking blood clot and I didn't know it. And my whole face, if you watch it, my nose is like out to here. No, dude, it was like gnarly. The pregnancy was gnarly. I was like, Amanda was like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. Yeah, let's just do the scene. Out of breath every second. I'm like, that's a tall sign. Something is wrong. I fucking have a
can't
blood
believe you have
clot.
a blood
I'm
clot
about to
while
have my
pregnant.
child. No, I didn't
Wow.
know. I had this
That's
whole
so
thing. Because
scary.
pregnancy's no joke. It's
No,
crazy.
dude.
But-
I deadass was like, damn, that's a crazy
That's
fake belly they put on.
Did
her.
you think it was a fake belly?
I did. Well, I didn't know you were pregnant.
That's funny that you thought it was a fake belly because I feel like I looked.
Well, I was like, damn, that's a
Dude,
crazy
okay,
fake belly.
It's a crazy big ass fucking belly.
Yeah.
I was big. I was a big girl. I gained some weight when I was pregnant, but I had fun. I ate a lot of food. That's probably how I got a blood clot.
As you should.
As you should, dude.
When I'm gonna be pregnant, like,
But
a
maybe-
dozen Krispy Kremes a morning.
I probably should have walked more, and that was the problem.
Oh,
Okay, so
yes.
Amanda
Well-
Drexton and Michael Drexton,
Yes.
amazing
The
filmmakers.
Drextons. I like how they say the Drextons.
The Drextons.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
They're incredible, right? And we're
And
good
I know
friends.
he's the husband. I
He
can
is
tell
the
that's him.
husband. Yeah.
In the
They've been together
background, out of focus, like on the
Yeah.
ladder.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah. And my mom's.
Yeah. Her
He was really
her
funny.
husband in the movie is the husband.
No. Michael plays my husband in the movie.
You're Michael?
No.
I know
Michael.
her Michael.
Her
That's what I'm
Michael. It's funny.
I'm saying your husband in the movie is Amanda's husband, the other director.
Okay.
The Drexton. Michael
Wow,
Drexton.
that just blew my mind. You're right. That's correct, Josh.
Thank you.
We were at a show for Samantha Westervelt, who wrote it with them, who plays, what's her role with Amanda and Sam, the leads in it, and Sour Party. Oh my God, I'm blanking on their names in the movie. Wait, cut that out. Okay, so Samantha Westervelt and Amanda and Michael were all at Egg Drop Soup, one of her shows, and I said, hey, if you ever write a show, I want to be pregnant in it, because I was already 4.5 months pregnant. And they were like, okay. And I was just kind of joking. And then they're like, we have a script. Do you want to read it?
Okay, I was going to say they already had this.
And then my name was my name.
Because you got to be, Augustine. Because you got to be pregnant. The movie is
Well, it's
about
about
a
her
baby
getting
shower.
a baby shower present because they're broke. And I'm like,
I know.
Yeah.
But I was like, was Augie picked because she was pregnant? Did they write it
Did they
for
tell you
Augie
the
and
story?
tell her to get pregnant? Like, Augie, all right, you got to get knocked up. We don't want to use a fake belly in this.
Well, what
no,
is
they
the
didn't tell me
story?
the story.
Why
We
are you
haven't
knocked up? So
we haven't had them on the show yet, so
they'll tell you the whole story.
we're not going to talk too much
Oh,
about it.
you don't want to tell the story?
I can tell the story.
You're
Yeah,
gonna blow
I just
the
said,
load.
please.
You should tell the story. Let her
be,
fucking tell the story.
let me tell the fucking story.
That's gonna be too hot right there.
Get that mic away from me.
Anyway,
I have it.
what were we
100%.
fucking talking about?
I want to hear the
Exactly.
story of how you were cast in
That
Sour
was
Party.
it. We were at a bar, and I said to them, to Amanda and
Oh, right.
Michael, hey, if you ever, next movie you guys do, I want to be pregnant in it, like joking, because I just became pregnant. And they're like, okay.
So Augie's in a bar
you
drinking
are.
pregnant. Okay, got that.
I was drinking White Claw. No, I was actually having
alcohol.
like nauseous, feeling like shit, and had to go see a friend's show, which was Samantha's Egg Drop Soup, her punk band.
Yeah.
With which is really cool.
I don't know, what do I know? Do I know, what do I know? I don't know, what do I know? Do I know, what do I know?
And then they called me like literally 2 months later, and they're like, we're going to do this movie. Do you want to play the pregnant girl now?
Wow.
It's about you. It's surrounded by getting a present for you. I'm like, yeah. let's
Have
do
you
it.
ever had to play pregnant before?
No, that was the first time. No. That year I played pregnant twice as I was pregnant, but that was kind of not smart in a weird way.
Why?
Because it was fine, but it also felt I was having a lot of like pains and problems, and my pregnancy wasn't easy. So it was like I should have said something, but I love acting so much, and I always had a dream of playing like an actual pregnant person in the movies.
Yeah.
But it worked out, but I also felt like shit the whole time. But it was fun.
Damn.
Well, you're when you said your family's in the business now, your grandfather.
He made 100 movies, and they were all shit, but awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
I love
he managed,
shitty
Mickey,
but awesome
he managed
movies.
Mickey Rooney, if you know who he is. He's an
Yeah.
old school actor. He turned down the Beatles
Why?
Why? What do you
he's
mean?
fucking ridiculous.
How,
No,
how
do you mean he
so?
turned
Like
it
to
down?
manage them?
To manage
So he was a
them.
manager, not a producer.
he was a manager and a producer.
Oh, okay.
So he produced a bunch of movies,
but not like.
and then, he somehow met the Beatles. I just think the story's amazing, and then he turned it, and then they became the Beatles.
Oh, and then they became the Beatles, or
Yeah,
like when
they
they
were
wanted to
just
do
starting.
movies because they did Help
No,
and Hard Day's
music.
Night.
He was going to manage them as a band because
Wow.
he managed musicians and actors.
That's a
and
big L. That's
Man,
a really
I don't
big
know.
L.
That's
Maurice Duke. What the fuck? No, but I just
You're
that
like,
was
my
a-
inheritance could have
I
been
know that
so much
it would have
better."
been very. It's very much true. It would have been different right now.
Damn.
But here we are.
Does the term Nepo baby offend you?
So here's the deal. People always think I'm like nepotism is a big one because no one in my family has ever helped me. I've done everything myself.
Really?
Never. I've done everything solely myself.
Wow.
And so, which in moments in my life, in my career, and it's, this business is the most unpredictable business in the world. It's so depressing and so exhilarating at the
Yeah.
same time. You guys.
you
both
have to
know
love
that.
it to stay in it.
You
Yeah.
have to love it to still stay in it, right? To still be doing it. But as just going through this, people in my family have become successful, or sisters and brothers, and no one has ever. I've done it solely myself. I've gone to auditions. I found the casting directors, found my own agent. Like, you know, and I'm kind of like, I'm happy that it happened that way because I don't know what would have happened if it was the other way around. People are like, throw her a bone. I'm like, no, I had to learn things. I had to be green. I had to suck in order to get somewhere. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But yes, that word is interesting because recently I was like, wow, no one's ever fucking helped me, man.
I remember your mom. She wrote. Didn't she write? Does your mom writes, right? Or
she writes, but she doesn't. She's not a writer.
She had a play, right?
She did about her sex life in the 70s.
Yeah.
Good memory. Did you go?
I didn't go, but I remember you telling me about it.
Oh,
and,
it was amazing.
It was like a
Cool.
It was
What's
like,
it called?
In my own X-rated words, and it's about my mom's a kook in the best way. She's amazing.
Yeah,
Freddie
her mom's
Duke.
awesome.
Freddie Duke, and she's a really good writer, and she wrote and she cast this amazing actress Pan Levin to play her, and everyone's like, why don't you play your mom? I'm like, that's way too close, dude. Like, imagine the fights.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? In rehearsal, like doing a fucking play with my mom, I would have been like,
Or having to recite whatever lines she wrote about her sex life.
see, that wouldn't matter to me. It's mainly
pantomime that
the
shit.
behind the scenes, because she's been such a, like, you're like, you don't mind that shit? She's been such an open book my whole life. Like, I've known about her sex life since I was a kid.
Whether you wanted to or not.
Whether I wanted to or not, she's gonna listen to this and be like, "What?" I didn't say. I'm like, you know, you didn't. But yeah, so it was great. It was a good play.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. So but you put her in the movie. Does she act?
Well, so it was weird. They were looking for
The
No,
house.
they asked my mom. They're like, she did. She was an actress in the 80s. Yeah, she did a bunch of commercials and stuff.
Love.
But she hasn't acted in a while. And they're like, "Do you think your mom would want to play your mom?" And I'm like, I asked her, and she's like, "Yeah." And then it was in her house, so it was perfect. It was convenient. She doesn't like to drive, so it's perfect.
Is she still in Santa Monica?
She's still on the west side, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So funny. She has a great little house there. look at Josh is like, what's next? What do I do?
Trying to figure out, like, while you guys are
Encyclopedia.
talking, because I know the camera's not going to be on me, right? Like, cut. It's not going to be on me right now. I'm editing this. It's just you two. So I'm just over here doing my shit.
You're doing your shit?
Preparing
Wow.
for the next thing.
What's the next
going.
thing?
What? I actually just saw. This has been on my mind because I just saw. You know how Pamela Anderson's in that new
Yeah,
Showgirl?
Yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see it too. But I just saw an interview where. Have you ever worked with intimacy coordinators?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your view of them?
I did a lot on the show. I did a show called Mayans, and which
That's
which
Sons
is
of
the
Anarchy spinoff,
yeah.
right?
spinoff, and which I literally, you guys, I came in for a tiny co-star role, and then it became 15 episodes because that's the business. You never know.
Well, because Augie's
Super talented
obviously,
and pretty.
and
yeah.
her-
that's
but
crazy.
no,
That's a lot of it.
But a lot of it is
being
your
talented
per-
and pretty in this industry.
God, but
Yeah,
I wasn't very pretty
and your
in the show, though.
personality on set, and like just how easy you are to be around. That's a lot of it too.
Thank you. But that's true. That is part of the business, right? Is that you have to be a pro, you have to be professional on set, and you also want to be real and get along with people. And yeah, it's like, who are we going to hang out with for a while?
Yeah.
It's true. There is that part of it, I guess.
Right, because if you don't watch your own shit, if you're not going to go watch your own movie and be, vain like that, it's
I
camp.
don't think it's vain. I think like
Okay, or
I
learn
think
from
you
your
because there are some actors where they're like, I don't watch myself. I'm like, well, you probably should.
Right,
'cause
right.
you
Yeah,
probably
no,
see
you
how
end up-
you should
yo,
get
it's true.
better.
and not and we know Ed Begley Jr. went to go see Strange Darling 7 times, not because of
Wait,
him.
yeah, that's such a different. That's
Not
a
because
different
of him,
point.
because he
That's
was
completely different point.
appreciated the movie.
Yeah, you just like the movie.
I know it's a different point, but like it's like what makes you motivates you to see a movie you're in? Is it the movie itself? Is it you're trying to watch yourself? Is it because you're vain? Look, that's just one part of it. I'm not trying to say everybody's vain.
Yeah.
Watches their own movies, like, but yeah, it could be like a lesson to learn. Like, oh,
Well, you do. You do learn.
Like
You
what
do
she was
learn.
talking about
We were
earlier.
talking
like,
about that.
yeah,
You are your
I
hardest
wish I
critic.
didn't make that choice.
Yeah.
I wish I
Yeah.
didn't do that.
So you worked with an intimacy coordinator on
I
that?
did, and I ended up becoming really good friends with the intimacy coordinator.
Yeah, they're supposed to be your like.
and she was really, really
right-hand
cool.
person.
She's also
They're
a
always
female,
female,
director.
right?
They don't have
Usually?
to be.
No,
I've worked
mine
with-
was female.
I feel
Corinne.
like the ones I've met were always female.
Well, females are usually the ones to jump at that job. But I
What's
know
your
female-
What's your take on that whole thing? Because I mean, first, because I was in the business way before the intimacy
that's why I
coordinating
was curious.
even a thing, right?
Yeah.
And I guess I was lucky because I never had any uncomfortable situations ever, and knock on wood, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I've been blessed in that way.
They didn't have one on like 9.5 Weeks or Basic Instinct.
Yeah, when I was on
Or
that.
Badger game.
Yeah. The Badger.
You didn't have a scene in Badger Game where you needed it.
No, I just got
They
on
needed
top-
an intimacy coordinator off screen. Whoa,
Oh,
hey,
God.
old gossip.
Yeah, that.
Spilling the tea.
Even though I don't normally interject from off
Yeah.
screen, one of my favorite moments shooting the Badger Game is when we had a nude scene. And
You mean the
Augie was
full
not
sex scene?
She was not shooting at all, and she showed up and was like, "I don't care. I want to watch this."
Oh, the
The
gratuitous.
opening sex scene.
grat-
Oh my
gratuitous-
God! Well, because
My
oh my God, you're gonna make me sound like shh. You're gonna make me sound like Tom. I love you. You're gonna make
She's
me
like a
sound
little
like
freak.
such a pervert. Okay, fine. Sometimes I'm a little bit of a pervert.
Tom's like, we need
Sometimes I want
nudity.
to watch.
Sometimes I want to watch. Okay.
Kill
we
me.
need nudity in the opening,
Dude,
early in the
honestly,
movie.
We can cut this out.
My
Just-
first.
no, I think it's hilarious.
No,
It's true.
yeah. My first note is: did we need the basically porn scene?
That was not my
Did we
choice.
need
That was not my
Sex
choice.
sells.
It's
'Cause it
totally.
was
Well, first of all,
basically porn.
And that's where
First
I wanted to
of
be.
all-
I wanted to watch. I was like, this is hot.
Aria London.
Aria London.
Well, we
she's
tried-
a sweetheart.
Yeah,
I really
no, I know.
liked
I
Aria.
just then her mom. Remember, her mom was there. Like is like her manager.
It was all really weird. Augie wanted to be there. Her mom
mom
wanted
was
to be there.
there.
She was like, whatever.
Okay. So
Yeah, that is a very gratuitous scene. I know.
I forgot.
I didn't even-
Can I be honest? I forgot about that.
I
Until
didn't.
Oh,
you just mentioned
I
it,
didn't.
which is
I
so
didn't
funny.
want that scene in. But
Well,
Tom
fine.
was
I
like,
mean, you're the director.
Tom was like, there needs to be nudity for us to sell this. There needs to be
That's
nudity for. No,
because-
I like the sex
but
scene.
that's- here's the
I
deal.
think we need it for his character, for Sam's character. But the fact that it was like,
so
Those-
sexy.
those-
That wasn't
yeah.
even
Well,
softcore porn.
That's
Like that was
changed a
porn.
lot too.
Those
This
skin
like
masks.
sex sells thing. That's completely. It's changed.
sex doesn't
Yeah.
sell.
Well, it
You're lucky
does,
if they
but
kiss in a movie now.
It's different now. It's
But
interesting.
I was curious because I mean in my generation we fought really hard for intimacy coordinators because of
Yeah.
like the Me Too movement. We were like,
Mm-hmm.
well, this is something that we should avoid moving forward. And like if we at least have someone on set whose whole job is to advocate for the actor, not to take away from the scene, not to step on any director's toes. And I think that's the biggest thing that's the biggest misconception is that intimacy coordinators are kind of there to like referee a scene and be like, we can do that and we can't. When that's not the case,
No.
they're just there to make it, to not have the scene get out of control or uncomfortable for anyone. Like a sex scene in film like should be choreographed and it should be super understood and like it's just a way to avoid so many horrible stories that actors and actresses have had to go through in the
Yes.
past.
The
2020s.
moment they told me I was gonna have an intimacy coordinator, and I already did a lot of. I played a sex addict in a show, and I did a lot of fake, sex, and I was like, no, I'm fine. But then I thought to myself, no, this is the way it should be. So everyone's comfortable, you know what I mean? Like this is it. This is what should happen.
Yeah.
So anyway, I did it like a 180.
Yeah.
Where I was like, it's fine. What?
What
And then-
show was that? In case our
Nope.
fans want to. Okay.
I didn't. It was me, but it wasn't me. So I don't even know what show it was actually.
I don't.
Yeah,
you have
crazy.
so
I
many,
just made that up.
You have so many fucking credits. I couldn't even begin to guess.
Well,
what
you
show
know,
it was.
me and Danny Roebuck.
Yeah, right. In Wild Boar.
Yeah, we will.
We
Played
did
my
the-
boyfriend in that.
Can I tell you, just to get off of Pamela Anderson, I was talking
Yeah.
to my dad about it, and he was like, oh, yeah, I saw that. Like, woof, she looks. And I was like, you shut your mouth.
Woof, she
Because the
looks good.
comment, like, oh, she looks, old. She, like, let
Oh,
herself
I think
go.
she
And I'm
looks
like,
amazing.
She looks great in that. I think.
She
looks
beautiful.
stunning.
She looks
She looks
stunning.
like a woman that has aged gracefully, which
naturally.
we should be allowing
Yeah.
space for.
Because we're not used to that, right? Everyone covers up their aging.
Yeah.
Well, she's doing a huge thing, right? What she's doing is the no
Yeah.
makeup and changing the. I think it's beautiful.
It's
I think she's
stunning.
I have so much respect for.
Me
she's
too.
Yeah.
But let's keep going down the road of your career.
No.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite thing that you filmed?
Everything. The Badger game.
Give me top 3. And
Top
don't include the
3?
Badger game.
Yeah, because that's obvious.
Obviously, you're
It's
number
obviously
one.
the Badger
Hold
game.
on a second. Are you guys? Go ahead.
No, I fucking. You know what? It's like that question's so funny to me because it's gonna go back to you and you're gonna have the Badger game.
I know. Cut back to Josh.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I just love working, man. I think we all love working. So it's like every film or any show or whatever I do, I just feel so blessed to be there. I'm like, I'm here.
No.
You know, like
Yeah.
I mean, there's some things I've done where I'm like, why did I do that? like
Yeah.
the Badger Gang.
But yeah, exactly. But you're a working actress. Like,
No, dude, can I be honest? I'm gonna be so transparent. It's bullshit. We live in such a bullshit societal, like, social media world where people think I'm working all the time, and it's not true. Yes, I was lucky. I had 1 year of working really well, and then the next year not. And like this year was really tough. Ever since the strike, I was like, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and people were struggling this last year, like
Still are.
and it was like, oh man, and so big working actors were like, I haven't worked in a year, and I'm like, yeah, I think we should talk about that. How, like, it's just you sometimes you don't work, and it's when you're an artist and you're not working, you kind of lose your mind. I think we all can talk about. I always do this. Have you noticed this? That I do this.
I like it.
We all do. We all.
I like it. Add some physicality.
well, what are
to
you
the mix.
supposed to do? Like,
You and you. We
square?
can all talk about this.
we all.
But
Rectangle.
and even
I mean,
okay.
a triangle.
Anyway.
Writer, director, actor, by the way. You're such a good actor. We were coming close to a really amazing script Josh wrote, like, a while ago now. It's been a while. And we almost did it with a...
I'm still doing rewrite.
Okay,
rewrites
well,
on it
yeah.
Because
And
you
we
just do
almost
that.
did it, and it was with somebody I was really close to, and it just kind of... You were trying to find funding, and that's hard to do.
Tom and I had an actor. I mean,
Yeah.
we talk about it. I've talked about John in a
Okay,
previous,
so yeah, so John...
it was John Hawkes, who's a great actor.
John Hawkes and I were dating, and we
Yeah.
also, but mainly we were very close friends. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I don't know why that came out.
I
of my
love that.
mouth.
He
That
was
crazy.
He was on the
Ooh,
latest
dating.
True Detective. He was on the latest
I haven't
True
seen it.
Detective.
I haven't seen
I haven't seen it either.
We went to Tucson. We drove to Tucson
For the
together in
Badger
my
game,
friend's Mini Cooper,
which was so much
by the way,
fun.
so
Took
we
a
drove.
Mini Cooper 8 hours to Tucson
It is 8 hours. How'd you know?
because I drove to Flagstaff.
Yeah.
Like, all the
Yeah.
time.
So but here's the whole thing. We drove my friend's Mini Cooper because after that I had to drive to El Paso to drop it off to her friend,
Oh, God.
and then I flew back. But
You have such a good memory.
Mine's
Shot. I just remember going there with you.
El Paso that's another 9.
Yeah,
10
dude.
hours.
It was
Oof,
a nightmare. I was
brutal.
hungover. I fucking had anxiety. I was like, am I going to make the plane? I was like, El Paso. I've never been there. It's like Texas and like fucking...
I used to have to drive from LA to Dallas.
Juarez is right there. There's probably going to be a gang war. And that was
Oh.
when Juarez was real fun. Probably is still bad. Anyway, so that's when the media was feeding us
That was a
that
cool
Juarez.
film festival.
So we went there, and then I told Augie about this idea that I had or this script that I had, and then that's when
Yeah.
I pitched you, and then she like told John, and then we met like first of all, John doesn't even have a freaking email. Like he
might have one now.
he maybe has one now. He's got like a flip phone or
He
something.
was very
How
old
do you
school at the time.
work
Every-
and not have an email?
Yeah,
His agent.
he had his
He had a
team,
phone.
but there was something so, endearing about that, right? Because he was like the only last man standing with like, besides your grandparents that like just had no, you know what I mean? No way of getting his scripts. They had to come send him scripts.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
and every time I had to make a
Snail
change
mail.
to the script, it would be he'd want a hard copy, and then he'd come back. We'd go meet at that
that
coffee
sucks.
shop. What was the name of that coffee shop? It was
Oh yeah.
it was on Melrose.
Yeah. God, you have a good
Swingers?
memory.
No, it's just straight
It's
up
like a
coffee shop. It's
small
not a
little
restaurant.
coffee shop.
So
We had a lot of meetings. about it.
we had a lot of meetings.
were
and
like,
he
it
would
was about
come-
to go.
He did sign.
No, we all did.
Yeah,
It was gonna happen.
And he signed a. You'd go and he'd have script notes and they'd just be fucking written all over the script. He'd just have all these notes. You're like, wow, that's old school.
But then we broke up and it didn't happen.
Yeah,
That's
so-
not why, by the way. You keep thinking it's me. You're like, you motherfucker, you could have dated.
Wait. Was he
no, that
funding
has
the
to
whole
be
thing?
why, huh?
Was he funding the whole thing?
No, he's an actor.
So
So
why would
He's
he
an
make
amazing-
a break of the
hold
whole?
on,
No,
because
because
Okay,
the
I'm
people
sorry.
that were
Long
interested,
story.
the people that were interested in investing really liked his work.
well,
and
this
wanted
is
to
long
be.
form podcast.
Oh.
So no, because we had him, John Leguizamo came on board.
Yeah,
Clifton
people really
Collins
respect.
Jr. came
He's an
on board.
amazing actor.
We
Everybody
had all
wants
these.
to work with
Tracy Toms was on.
Oh,
who
you
you
needed
know.
a name.
Well, Tracy and John did a play together.
Tracy Toms is from Love and Rent. She was in Rent, right? She was in Rent.
movie?
Listen,
Yeah, I think
he to me too. Just even if I wasn't friends with him or anything, he's just an incredibly talented actor
know.
that everyone wants to work with, and I understand the desire of everyone wanting to be around that. And it's unfortunate. I think, and I'll tell you that I love how we're spilling the beans on the podcast.
Spilling the tea.
Is it just it
Yes.
ran
Sorry,
out?
spilling
That's
the tea.
correct.
You're spilling the tea. I
Spilling
know
the
how to
tea.
use it.
You're spilling the tea. It ran out of its his desire. He told me.
Well, here's what happened.
He was like, he had that moment, and it's true. No, this is really what he told me. He said, the desire for me just kind of started to fade after a year. I was like, I wanted to do in that moment. I was ready, and then it just kind of like, another thing happened, like another project at the time that I had more, interest in, I think.
Well, here's the thing. Also, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's like,
hard.
hey, I'm
It's
leaving
hard.
you for this better person. But anyway, it's listen. It happens. It's not the first.
I'm sorry
he's
that
not
happened.
the first
I
actor
think-
that is pulled out of a project.
Yeah.
He's not the first project he's pulled out of.
Well, I'm going to back him up and say that I had a really deep conversation. He really felt it just, and it's too bad because it is a tough business that he just was like, it wasn't for me anymore. And,
Yeah, well,
and it's unfortunate.
It's
yeah.
a physical.
Very
it would have been
physical.
a
That's
physically
what he said. He
demanding
said it
role.
was a very
and at the
physically
time, he was in
demanding
his
role.
late 50s, I think. And so.
But he was ready for that at the
Yeah,
time.
no. And the reason I thought it was fate is because his dad was like a pugilist, and like is that how you say that? Anyway, his dad was like a prize fighter, and I was like, oh, it's all meant to be. And but anyway, so then we ended up getting Thomas Jane attached,
Yeah.
and then I had to rewrite it because he's more of an action guy. He's like, oh, the ending's kind of fucking lame. And
It's such a
blah
tough
blah. And
business.
I'm like, fine. And then I rewrite the ending to make it more of like
Yeah.
and then he pulls out, and I'm just like, this is.
What was
and then,
his excuse?
and
He didn't want to
his
fucking...
His excuse is, I didn't think he had one, but and then we had John Cusack in a different role.
Yes.
And he wanted
I
to,
remember that.
and then
Yes,
and
no,
he
it
wanted
was
to
like-
play.
I know.
He wanted less
Yeah.
dialogue. So I'm on the phone with John Cusack, by the way, and he wants less. I'm trying to talk him down because he wanted too much money. Because I'm from Chicago and I went to Piven. I went to Piven Theater.
I mean, these are what podcasts are about,
I went
right?
to Piven Theater, right? And that's where he went. And that's where Jeremy Piven's dad started. So I'm like, hey, we're like talking Chicago. I'm like, and I'm trying to, talk him down because he wanted too much money. Anyway, he's like, I want less lines, less dialogue.
Yeah.
And so I gave him less dialogue and I gave him more scenes. And he's like, oh, there's more scenes in here. I'm like, well, dude.
I
you
remember
can't-
that.
I'm like,
remember
I
the
had to
Cusacks.
create a character that has less dialogue by creating more scenes, just organically.
That
I didn't just say.
Josh, let's go here. That goes to show you how good that script is, though. I will tell you this.
Yeah, it's still
that
not.
Script
It
is,
still hasn't been made and still sitting there.
I know, but that's the thing, right? This business is unpredictable, as we talk about. But it really, genuinely is a very good script, and that's why you got so many amazing actors to be interested in it.
Just another story.
Yeah, it's
Just
another
another
story,
Hollywood
but that's
story.
what the business is. It's a fucking shit show, man. It's
Yeah.
unpredictable.
So your friend turned down that role. How have you?
Dealt with
how do
that.
you?
How do you deal with that?
know? Have you ever had to like turn down a role where you're just like?
I've
oh, these
been
people.
turned down. I haven't gotten
Well, haven't
so
we
many
all?
roles. Right. I've been so close to things that I have not gotten, or whatever. Have I ever? No.
Have you ever had someone come to you with a script like Josh, and you're just like,
Yeah, I'm gonna do that to him next time.
not it.
No, but she had her boyfriend turn down a script.
He didn't turn it down though. I think it was
he
like.
she was your AC on that day.
So Shane and I just finished his film that he directed, and he's like, "Can you pick me up? I'm gonna go give bone marrow to this girl." I'm like, "What? You fucking saint? Are you a
We're
saint?"
talking about our all mutual friend
Shane Brady, who's an amazing filmmaker and actor, good dear friend of mine,
True.
and everyone here. And I picked him up, and he was high out of his mind because he was on all these drugs. And Josh calls me, and he's like, "I'm still looking for the guy." And I was like, "Oh, I'm with my friend Shane Brady. He might do it." And you're like, "Who is he?" And then you looked him up, and you're like, "Yeah, he's cool. I like him. I like his work." And I was like, "Shane, you want to do this movie?" He's like,
Mm-hmm.
We had like a 15-minute conversation.
He's like, yeah, give me the phone. I'll talk to him. He was high out of his mind and said yes, and he doesn't remember any of it.
And then Emily's like, "Hey, we gotta postpone our move to Texas because you're shooting a movie." And he's like, "What?"
That's
Did not-
hilarious.
And he goes, and then Emily, oh yeah, Emily helped you guys with the COVID.
She was our
she's
COVID
compliance officer.
compliance,
compliance
yeah.
person.
Isn't she the best?
Yeah, I love her. And now
Is
she's
she-
a mom.
She's just,
That's
these are
amazing.
really dear friends. They're just like the best.
No,
They're
they're
the,
amazing
the best
people.
people.
Yeah,
they
I
really
love
are.
them.
And they're really good friends with Tom and you guys now. It's great.
Alright,
What's
so-
been the most rewarding part you've ever done? One where you walked away and you were like, "Oh fuck yeah, that was awesome. That was a role where that was for me."
There's a couple. That's a good question. There's a couple. I think Trauma is a Time Machine, which is about rape, which is like a heavy hitter in her own relationship. Burning Kentucky, and then this movie that just came out, Thou Shall Kill, very low budget. We did it for $20,000, but
Damn.
it was like a play. It was like we did 13 pages a day, and I'm talking monologue to monologue to monologue. I was like, this is so hard, and it's about an ex-alcoholic mother who's dealing with her own demons and gets kidnapped by a serial killer, and the conversation is just all in a car.
Oh, wow.
And it's like
Wow.
heavy hitter. and it's like it's hardcore. It's on Amazon and iTunes. Don't look at me like pitching it, but
No,
It's
no.
out- it's
pitch-
out?
it's
pitch
out.
it.
It just came out.
Okay.
It just came out.
Go watch
Thou
it.
Shalt
Yeah,
Kill.
pitch it. I'm gonna put a trailer right here.
Sinners, drinking, gambling, doing drugs, doing whatever they want with no punishment. Hey, my battery died. Can I get a jump? Fear is penance.
God hates your guts.
What are you doing?
And some people must be punished.
Those are dream roles, I think, is for actors to really dig deep and lose your mind and need to go to therapy right after
Okay,
those films.
that was my next question. What are you like? Yes, please give me that script as an actor. Horror or just drama?
I've done my fair share of horror and drama. I think I'd like to. This is gonna be out of the blue, but weirdly enough, I want to start working out and like do an action film where I'm like kicking ass and shit. I've never done the kicking
Put her in
ass.
The Boys. That'd be cool.
Ooh.
Like the show, The Boys.
show, The Boys.
Yeah,
I
the show, The
love
Boys.
The Boys.
Little
You
I
should
think
be
you
in
would
that
be
show.
great. I think you should be in that
You
show.
should be in that show. But yeah, action. I think action. And
Action. I can see you in action.
I've never done it. I've never done like, I'm gonna kick some ass because everyone's like, you're little and funny and like I don't know.
How do you feel? Do you like comedy? Do you like
I love
comedy?
so we did me and Shane Brady's his most recent film
The
is about
Christmas
them
one?
getting hacked. Yeah.
I saw that.
No.
Wait, not the
Well,
Christmas
Hacked is-
one?
Wait, Christmas, but they're both Christmas related.
Yeah, they're both fucking
That's
Christmas.
they're both.
Why
He
does he keep making these
clearly
Christmas
Shane Brady,
movies?
you like Christmas a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with that?
Yeah,
Yeah. Dude.
yeah, dude.
Is that out? Hack.
Hack. No, it's gonna be out. We'll see what happens with it. But I play his wife. They really got hacked in real life when they got the down payment when we were doing Breathing Happy.
Wait, I remember
Yes.
this story.
Yeah, because you met them right when they got hacked.
Yes,
Yes,
I
and they're like, we just
did.
got hacked. Our down payment just was stolen because this guy pretended he was Sarah, but was Sarah without an H, and there was Sarah with an H, and that was what it was. The hacker put Sarah with an H, and that's how they found out Sarah with an H and Sarah without an H. It was
Wow,
just like
that's
this whole crazy story.
Crazy.
But I'm really excited for people to see that. It's a comedy and a dark horror comedy. It's fun.
And that's got Chandler Riggs, right? And it
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
And then
Caitlin Nacon,
Nacon,
Richard Reilly.
Richard really plays Santa
every-
Claus.
Yes!
Yeah, and he's in everything.
He's in everything. He's
You
amazing.
know him if he's.
Yeah.
Okay.
And who else? Oh my God, there's so many people in it. There's a lot of people that pop up that I'm like blanking.
So-
Brittany Escalante, she's amazing.
So his movie
Amazing.
Breathing Happy, which is it? I just want to
I
promote
saw that.
it. You saw that one.
You saw
It's a-
Breathing Happy.
I did.
Yeah.
I watched it with my family, I think 2 Christmases ago.
That's
It's
a
good.
That's a good fucking
It's a
movie.
beautiful-
It was
It's a
good.
Christmas. It's like
Depression.
Requiem for a Dream a little, right? And a Christmas Carol.
Yeah, wow.
Requiem for a Dream.
No, yeah, I mean, that's like one of my favorite movies of all
But
time.
it didn't have like the way that like the style a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah,
It's-
a little
it's
bit.
not nearly as intense as Requiem.
No.
Well, I'm sure the budget is like. not
There's that
nearly
too.
as
There's
big
a
as-
hugely
But
different
the
budget.
editing was very impressive. Like
They
I
did
don't
good,
know-
man.
I don't know if Shane.
Yeah,
was
he's
the
a
editor
really
on that.
talented editor. He was.
He is. Yeah, he
And,
edits his films. Yeah.
I miss you guys. Merry Christmas.
You have no new messages. To listen to your old messages from people that you have pushed away, please press 1.
Well, this is new.
Your Christmas present. We got 2 goodie bags for you to choose from. What do you want?
Why can't you stop?
And then Aaron Moorhead did the voice, right? And Justin Benson, who you
Justin
worked
and Aaron.
with
Yeah,
in
Spring.
Spring.
Yeah.
Which was that an Anchor Bay movie? I think that was an Anchor Bay, like old Anchor Bay movie.
I didn't even
Spring,
know
yeah,
that.
Spring.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Have you seen Spring? Spring's you made Spring right before Badger Game. I remember it came
I
out.
showed my tits in Spring.
Yes,
Whoa.
Boom.
Boom.
When they were hot and young. It's fine. They're still there. It's fine.
Now you're gonna have those action tits.
I'm gonna have those action titties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wobbling around like
No, when you're an action star, they just kind of like go away, right? They're just like under a sports
They're just
bra.
gone.
They're just like under a sports bra, and you're all jacked.
gone.
And
I have
it's
no
more about
tits.
like your arms.
Yeah, it's
and-
like a push-up bra under a sports bra.
Yeah. Spring's a great movie.
Yeah.
And
It's really good. It's beautiful.
Have you had to be nude a lot in films?
All the time. No.
All the
No,
time?
no, no.
Oh,
I
wow.
just no. I've only done that thing I did, which I shouldn't have mentioned. I did was a lot of I was nude in that.
Okay.
People are fucking. Here we go.
They're doing a deep IMDb dive.
Mr. Skins.
Yeah.
No, but I always think of myself. I'm like, I'm kind of European. Like I have it if it needs to be there, it needs to be there. You know what I mean? Like
I agree. I did Equus, the play.
Yes.
And I was Jill, and I was nude.
Yeah.
And
that's
I
awesome.
remember I was 20.
Yeah.
And I remember in rehearsals, I was like, because we would rehearse it until we like stripped to our underwear.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until like, I think the week before we went into tech that we were like, okay, nude rehearsals. And I remember pulling the director and the producer aside being like, I will only do this if it actually adds to the story. Yeah. If it actually impacts how this play is interpreted, how the audience walks away. If it's just going to be the audience walking away being like, I saw Jill naked, then like I'm not doing it.
Yeah. I
and
agree.
so we would run it, and then we would all come together and be like,
it needs to be there.
It makes it better.
It makes it better.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It's vulnerable too, right?
Yeah. And at least I wasn't the only naked one. Like John had to be naked too.
Yeah,
so.
I wasn't the only naked one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice when other people are naked with you.
It is nice when other people are naked
I'm not
with
the
you.
only one. Thank fucking God.
Yeah, I'm not just in a and then I had to I had to do a student film, and it was like a sex scene, and it was also in the middle of Detroit, and it was in an abandoned church in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
Is there any insulation?
So awkward. So
No.
yeah.
Is there any
yeah,
insulation? Is there any intimacy coordinator?
No,
None of that.
Except there
None of that.
was
Student
the film teacher who decided, of all the days on that film, that he was going to drive for 30 minutes to Detroit.
Teacher, yeah.
And I pulled the director aside and I was like, I'm not doing this scene if this professor's in the room.
Good
So
for
you were
you.
nude
I don't care if
were
he
you?
drove
Good for
40
you.
minutes through to
That's
Detroit.
really
I'm not
Was he
doing
your
it.
teacher?
Yeah. Well, no, he was the film department's teacher.
Oh, film department.
And so I was an actor in the film class.
It was a makeout scene, but it was
No,
a sex
no, it
scene.
was a sex
But it
scene.
was were you nude
I had to like in the scene I had to like pull down my dress and like do all that
for
jazz.
student film?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, of course they're like, yeah, dude.
And it was
let's
like a
be risky.
fantasy, so it like had to like be. It was really weird, but I was like, I'm not doing it with that guy in here that I know drove 40 minutes.
That's so
for
creepy.
this scene.
So fucking creepy, dude.
Yeah, get
I'm so
fucked.
glad you said that. Ugh.
Yeah, intimacy coordinators, man, they're important sometimes.
Yep.
Fucking just doing 100 miles per hour
Can you
to
give
get there.
us like you don't need to say. Oh, do you need to take that?
Hold on.
She's a mom. She needs to answer
I
the
know.
phone.
That's
always
why I
need
was
to
like,
answer
you can
the
take
phone.
it.
Oh wait, it's good. I thought he called me like a million times. Why do I sound like I'm from New York? I thought
Hey,
he called me like a million times.
I was gonna say you don't have to say what project it was, but I am curious if you have like a horror story on set.
There's
or,
a lot
like,
of horror stories.
Give me your favorite.
There's a lot of horror stories. There's a couple I didn't get paid for. That like they somehow never had the money in the account. Totally.
What?
And these will remain unnamed. The crew was walking. It was the last day, and everyone was going to walk out because no one was getting paid. And we all stayed collectively and thought we were going to get paid, and then we didn't get paid for 6 months or something. And it was like, and the movie was a kind of a shit show too. And it was just they spent a lot of money on just stupid things to make themselves look cool, like trailers and like things that I'm like, you could have saved that money to pay us.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't care about a trailer. Pay me, dude.
Yeah.
You had to get us all individual trailers, chairs, blah 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 blah.
I'll hang out in my
come
car. What the fuck?
Well,
Pay me.
Sometimes I think when people are making
Yeah.
movies, they're still raising money as you're shooting. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like you
shouldn't
gotta
hire
save
people you
face
can't
in
pay.
front of the actors and stuff like that.
They
but
should have told us.
There's nightmares going on behind the scenes.
They
that
never
people
told
are
us.
But
putting
you
out
also
fires.
you shouldn't hire people you can't pay.
Yeah.
You should.
Or just wait it out, right? But that's the
should-
thing. They never told us. Like, just
Yeah.
tell me, man. Be straightforward. Be like, guys, like this other funding that was supposed to come, quote unquote, didn't come, and they just didn't say anything.
But it might affect your acting.
Yeah, well, she.
So maybe so
should
there's
be
that,
paid.
right? So there's that, right? So maybe I don't care.
You
Just-
could argue both
I want
sides.
you to stay excited about this project.
We could
I'm
argue
sure.
both sides.
Well, and listen, I don't think it's all like
It's a job. It's the director's
the
passion
actors.
project.
It's
Yeah,
a-
the
yeah,
actor.
for the
Why
actors,
would
of
you
course.
be like, no, you have to care about this just as much as I do. It's my
No.
passion project."
Yeah,
It's
no.
like,
That's
dude,
why they
I have to pay
don't.
rent.
That's why they don't tell you. I think that there's always money like that you're expecting. Like when we made Badger Game, we were raising money as we were shooting.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah, but that's
but we weren't shooting.
Yeah, but
we
the
weren't shooting,
money
like,
that you're raising should never be to pay. Like, you should be hiring people because you can pay them, and then the money that you're raising should be because you want to, or have a crane for a scene.
I feel like you.
And then if you don't have that money, then you don't use the crane.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously getting trailers and stuff like that is.
I think that was stupid. That's the thing.
You
guys,
unless they had investors on set and they wanted to make it look
that's
like it was
what,
a
but
bigger
they
shoot.
did. But that's what's stupid. I'm like, that's ignorant. That's like, it's not the way to go as a filmmaker. That's what they did.
Mindset of like a.
Yeah, but anyway,
So after working on Mayan, like on the Mayans, do you look at indie film sets differently? Because Mayans is fucking huge, right? So Mayans is like you're getting top notch catering. You're getting trailers.
The food's better.
Yeah, of course the food's better. You're not getting peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Trailer's more comfy, I bet.
The trailer's
yeah,
better.
but you're also union. Everything's union. Everything's like union. Everything's like legit. You're getting OT. You're getting all that stuff. So like to go from that to what?
I just love indies because it's like a family affair.
Yeah,
you know what I
right,
mean? Like there's something so joyous about coming together and collaborating. But there was actually on Mayans, I got very lucky because we were all really good pals. We became really good pals that we did have a lot of collaboration because the creator Elgin, who's a good friend of mine, was very much like that. But not a lot of shows are like that at all. So there was that. There was a lot of collaboration, which was beautiful. And like he's like, "What do you think of this? Is this cool?" Like I'm like, "What?" Like I got so lucky in that way, but that's very rare though. You don't ever get that with certain people. You do. But
Augie loves indie film sets. Sometimes you don't get paid. It's like that family, that brother that owes you money.
you got to pay me something. I'm not gonna do it for pennies.
Wow.
Well, we're like, Tom and Brian, like they're making movies with them, and obviously we want to work together again with you.
We all have to,
of course.
yeah.
But they're always like they're, we're past the time of like, they always got to make sure that the money's for the actors is in the bank.
Well, question for you guys is that I'm sure everyone wants to have a big budget film, right? Because that's the dream. But you still want to do indies no matter what, right? Like you would do it if there was some sort of budget.
All I do.
No, Josh wants to be Ryan Murphy.
No, I didn't say I want to be Ryan Murphy.
Yes,
I just said I think I wish I could.
did.
I had the brain capacity to think.
You were
and
like,
write
I gotta get up there. I gotta get on that level.
Of writing,
quote unquote,
of writing, not of his career, not of that career. Yeah. That's a different. But just of being being prolific and pushing stuff out like that. Like it's like I deal with, like I was telling you, it takes me fucking forever to complete like a story.
Yeah.
Wait, you don't use ChatGPT to make it quick?
Should I?
I mean, it's great for like emails. Like if you're like, this made no sense, and you go in there and you're like, can you make this make sense? I've done that.
Bro, my question.
Well, I try to write emails that make sense.
If ChatGPT could like interpret me as a person, they'd be like, this girl's fucking crazy.
Totally. Do you do? I'm. It's my doctor, by the way.
Oh,
so I'm
yeah.
like, is this lump on my arm? Like it's a constant. Like they're like, this chick is a
hypochondriac.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
I had to do my color analysis, my color theory.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Your color is very much the color you're wearing right now, which is purple.
I think I'm a winter.
You are a winter.
Although ChatGPT told me I'm a warm autumn, so I think they're wrong.
What a liar. No, I think you're both. I don't know.
All right, enough of that nonsense.
Okay.
So.
Oh.
I know. I know.
You're like, don't even start.
I want to talk about Moon Garden. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen Moon Garden? If not, you should.
It's I want to see it. I saw all the boys that go to hell.
Bad
Kids
Kids
Go to Hell. I saw that one.
That's what we watched before we cast Augie and Badger.
Oh really?
I watched that, and then I watched Badger Game, and then I watched Sour Party.
Bad Kids Go to Hell is like fucking Breakfast Club. I'm swearing a lot.
We both are.
I feel like we don't swear enough on the podcast.
I'm here.
It's like edgy. We should more.
Swear.
I don't know if it's on YouTube. We might have to bleep it. I'm not sure.
Bleep. It's gonna be a lot of fuck.
Yeah. I'm like.
Wait, you're saying we should swear more?
Yeah, because we don't swear. It's like.
Yeah, Josh, you should be cooler. You're sucking at the
I feel like I swear as much as I usually swear.
Because I'm not swearing, I've noticed because I've been editing these. I'm like, I don't stutter, but I like sputter. I don't like like stutter, but I like I'll do that because I think I'm replacing a swear word.
You're gonna have such a creative time editing this one.
This one's gonna be a nightmare.
This one's gonna be a fucking nightmare. I already know it.
I know because that one, I was already thinking about that.
Yeah,
anyway,
I'm so sorry.
I'm trying to get us back on track with Moon Garden.
Moon Garden.
So Moon Garden.
Mm-hmm. Shot entirely in 35 millimeter.
Shot on 35 millimeter.
Wow.
But not only that, but it's shot on 35 millimeter, and it's like stop motion. It's like
some of that's in there. Yeah.
Is it like time lapses and
claymation?
claymation?
The sets were designed by a good friend who passed away last year, John Michael Elfers. He had cancer, and it was really fucked me up this whole year. Yeah, he was one of my...
That wasn't the director, though, was it?
No, but pretty much. Ryan Harris was the director, and John Michael Elfers was his partner, and Wolf was the DP, and he made they all made the sets. They worked their asses off on the animatronics. Everything was just the world they built. We should put the trailer on.
Oh, the trailer's definitely coming out.
You should
That
show.
movie?
You should show her the trailer. It's so
yeah.
beautiful. The movie's beautiful.
I saw it at Dances with Films. Right?
Yeah. But yeah, so John Michael Elfers was shockingly passed away last year. I think you might have known that. No, did you know?
I thought it was the director for some reason.
Well, I mean, he did do a lot of it.
Because at the end, in Q&A, they talked about how those sets were in his house, right?
Everywhere. We did them everywhere. Like
these sets. How long did it take him to make?
That movie took like 5 years to make. I came in at the last end. The parents came in at the last minute. It was all his daughter, Haven Lee Harris, who was amazing in it, and you just follow her through this world.
Wait, that's his daughter in real life?
Yeah.
She's awesome.
She's amazing in it. Like amazing.
It's about this girl she goes into a coma. She falls into a coma.
She falls, yeah.
And it's basically the whole movie is her trying to
her
get
imagination.
back to her, but she's trying to get out of the coma, right?
Yeah.
And she's being stalked.
I know, it's so sad.
She's being stalked by this, but she's in like this nightmare landscape, and she's trying to escape this chattery teeth.
Which is what, death?
Yeah.
Yes.
And she keeps hearing her. You will cry.
I'll cry.
This movie was.
I cried at everything. I cried at
Me
Moana
too.
7 times.
Oh my God.
A lot.
You just got to stop counting at that
Yeah,
point.
I think what happened was I joined theater. I was like the least emotional kid ever, and then I joined theater, and it was just like open
all the
floodgates,
feelings.
all the trauma, all the feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does that. It's good. No, it's beautiful. It's very, it's like Guillermo del Toro.
Yes.
That kind of world, but it's their own world. It's Ryan and John's and Wolf's world. Like they created this world. I highly recommend everybody watch it just as filmmakers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen anything like it, and that's why I was like, I have to do this film.
Wherever you are, Emma, be strong, be brave. It's up to you. You have to find a way out of the dark.
Mommy, I hear you.
You can help her. You can help her be strong by being strong yourself.
I wish I had known more when I was young. I wish I had known that the world was bigger than how I felt. Then there would still be beauty. There would still be magic.
And Oscilloscope put it out, right? That's the Beastie Boys.
And that's an amazing
dude from the Beastie Boys
yeah.
distribution company.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They don't put out a lot. They put out like 2 movies a year.
And they're always like unique, different, artsy. Yeah.
But,
What's your Letterboxd top 4?
What?
Your Letterboxd top 4.
What's Letterboxd?
Okay, so Letterboxd is.
Oh my God, I'm not cool anymore, man.
Ooh, you know what Letterboxd is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I know.
I do.
Why are you saying
But I'm-
Jillian?
But I'm cool. But I'm
What's
like, you know, not
Letterboxd? Oh
everybody-
my God.
So Letterboxd
cool.
is basically like a social media
Yeah.
before like movie reviews. So you can like you can rate every movie that you've ever watched, and it can be like your own. Do you have your Letterboxd open? You want to show her?
I don't have.
I know my lips are so dry too. I'm like,
some?
I have some.
But basically, Letterboxd will go up to people and be like, "What are your Letterboxd top 4?" Which means like, "What are your top 4 favorite films of all time?"
Okay, I want to hear your guys' top 4, and then I'll tell you my top 4.
You want us to go first?
I do. Is that stupid?
I don't
want you
know.
to-
I don't know
just-
mine. I don't know mine.
Okay, Jillian, what's your top 4? Letterboxd. Top 4
In
movies.
no particular order. Godfather Part 2.
Wow.
Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
Death Becomes Her. And I think Inside Out. That movie gets me.
Oh, I love that
And
list.
she like comes home from running away, and then she hugs her parents, and she's like, and then that tear comes, and that's her first core memory that's happy and sad.
Oh, you sure you're not a
Bye.
mom?
Bye.
Wow.
I love that movie.
Aw.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Or Bridesmaids. Because
Really?
that's just like a perfect comedy
That's
to
a
me.
really good movie.
Yeah.
Oof.
Step
I
Brothers
like
too.
that list.
I know Drugstore Cowboy. I think Drugstore Cowboy might be up there.
Is that yeah?
Yeah. And
Okay, what's yours?
There'll be
Yeah.
blood. Drugstore
Yes.
Cowboy.
Oh, There Will Be Blood. So good.
Yeah.
Isn't that at the end when he goes like, it's finished, or I'm finished.
Yeah.
So good.
The milkshake scene.
Oh yeah,
The milkshake.
it's a good one.
All right.
Okay.
So you got 2 of mine. And I'll
that's
give you the
it?
other 2 after your 4.
Okay. I like these movies. A Woman Under the Influence with Gina Rowlands.
Oh. Cassavetes. John Cassavetes.
I'm sorry, dude. That is some of the best acting I have ever seen. Like, she is so inspiring to me. Oh, love that woman.
But that's a lot of that's improvisational, right?
Some of it is,
Oh,
yeah.
a lot
I
of
mean,
it is.
yeah. They were a team. They were amazing. But Captain Fantastic. Have you guys watched that? No. With Viggo.
Viggo
She goes.
Mortensen?
No.
Viggo Mortensen.
It's not.
No.
You haven't seen it? Okay.
No.
It'll rip you to shreds. Like, it's so
good.
beautiful. It's about a family and him, and they live in like the wilderness, and they go back to civilization. I guess you could say to his family. They're gonna go. It's really sad. They go to bury their mother.
Wait,
but
what's it called?
Captain Fantastic.
I have seen this with the family.
Yes.
And then at
They're
the
like-
end when they have
Kill
to
me.
go back to their grandparents.
They live off the grid or
that,
something?
That movie's
How
so good. I
it's
saw
so
that
good.
movie coming down off of mushrooms. And it fucked me up.
It's
I
so
was like, oh my
good,
God,
though.
it's so good.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Silver Linings Playbook is like a really
Oh, fuck yeah. That might
I
be
just
in there.
think that is like, I want to do a film like that. Like every actor does.
Yeah.
God, Dirty Dancing.
So good.
It's so
No one
good.
puts baby in a corner.
Nobody fucking puts baby in a corner. She's so gonna.
Me in a corner.
Oh God, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I like
the-
16 Candles. I'm trying to think. Like, there's so many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
You've passed 4.
Did I pass 4? There's a lot. There's
What
a
have
lot
been
of
your
movies.
favorites in the past like couple of months that have come out, or like
I
past
haven't
year?
been watching
She's a
many
mom.
things. I'm
You
a
don't go to-
mom,
oh,
which
yeah,
is
you're
lame, and I
mom.
miss everything. I just finished the Hitman show with Eddie Redmayne, where he's like, it's
Oh,
really
on
good.
Peacock.
On Peacock.
Yeah.
He's Day of the Jackal. The Day of the Jackal.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Peacock's my favorite streaming service.
It's
have
really
you seen
good.
Poker Face
No,
with
I
Natasha
heard-
Leone?
I
Go
I
home.
know. I gotta see.
Watch
She's
Poker
just
Face.
the best.
It's so
I know,
good.
I haven't seen it
Every
yet.
episode it's so well written. The acting is absolutely phenomenal.
She's phenomenal.
And I love Peacock. I love promoting Peacock. So
She's Peacock's amazing. Anyway, yeah. So
that's cool. Wow.
Royal
What-
Tenenbaums. I put that in mind too.
Oh yeah, it's a great one. Anything Wes Anderson does, I love.
Grand
Anyway.
Budapest Hotel.
Oh, Darjeeling
Yes.
Limited. Oh, Grand Budapest. Hotel.
Let's go.
All right. So we're gonna go back to Sour Party real quick because
Yeah,
you
Sour Party.
are the one who.
I'm the only reason why.
facilitated the acquisitions.
I don't think that's what happened. They say that's what happened. Michael's like, you're the reason why we did that film. I'm like, my pregnancy is the reason why.
No,
Yeah.
no. I'm saying you're the you.
Oh,
you after it was finished.
distribution.
Yeah, after it was
Yeah,
finished,
so
you
they-
contacted Tom.
I did contact
or he
Tom.
contacted you because you are kind of like we've reached out to you quite a few times about different movies. Because you
No,
know
I mean, kind
you know
of.
all types of filmmakers. So you're like, oh, there's this movie, there's that movie. You sent us a few.
I always wanted to
Yeah.
figure out a way to get like a movie or something with us going
Yeah.
again, right? And Tom and I have talked, and I was like, let me think. And then they were looking for distribution. I was like, hey, listen, my friend runs Anchor Bay now. You guys should talk. And then it kind of worked. He was looking for a comedy like that, and it's so weird. And it all worked out that way. It was really cool.
Yeah, you and Mike Callio.
Callio.
Well, because he does that. He's the official acquisitions.
No
person.
way.
He does. Yeah, he does.
I
he
didn't
finds-
even know he was working with you guys until the Christmas party.
I didn't even know you knew him.
I've known him
till
for. He's
right
really
now.
good friends with Michael Reed. No way.
Oh, yeah, no, yes,
And
yes,
we want to
yes.
do.
I
He
knew
has
he
a
knew
cool
Michael.
little film that I'm sure he's told you about, right? Yeah. Hopefully it's a found footage thing.
Who's
he
got a
wants-
cool film?
Mike Callio.
Oh,
He
yeah,
wrote this
Mike Callio's got
cool
a
little
bunch of cool
found footage one that he wants to do with me and Michael. I'm like, well, we got a kid now, so we got to figure out a way to do it.
Did you see Dinner with Leatherface?
No, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet.
So.
Well, it's not
Yeah.
out yet.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's just doing this theater.
Is
thing.
that the-
It'll come out. It's the Gunnar Hansen Texas Chainsaw Massacre one.
I know about it. I haven't seen it yet.
No, that's his.
I love
he's-
Callio. Callio
yeah,
is like the
Callio's
real
awesome.
dude. He's the best. He's just
He's awesome. He wants to do a movie like this month. He's like, let's do a movie like this month. I'm
Of
like,
course, he would love to.
Well, it'll have to be next month, but
Yeah.
he's like down to just do.
He's down.
Guerrilla indie.
Well, that's what he wants to do with this film,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
okay,
we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Wait, let me see if there's anything else. So, do you have any? I got a question for you from her. Answer from her for you. Do you have
What
any
the
advice
heck
for
just-
Jillian Jillian's
Oh,
an
God.
actress.
She's good.
I
She's
know you haven't
solid.
seen Turning Point yet. She's fucking amazing.
She's amazing. I already know she's amazing.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
So as an actress, as an indie, you're like the indie go-to.
No, I'm
indie
not, but
queen.
thanks.
She's the indie darling.
Oh, totally.
So,
Yeah, indie
queen-
darling who's
not the scream queen,
almost
but
40. Huh?
40 is the new 25.
So, do you have any advice for a budding?
For any young budding. It's not just for myself.
Just Jillian, catered, customized for Jillian.
No. Customized for anyone.
Specifically. No, I'm kidding. Fine.
I always think, I'm like, why are you asking me? I'm always like, I think she's got it, man. She's doing it.
Thanks.
She's doing it. I think she's brilliant already. And like, no, I have no advice besides just be authentically yourself all the time and don't change. I would say this. What's the word? Like expect.
The unexpected.
Expect the worst.
nothing.
Pray for the best. Expect the worst.
No, you get something and you think, oh, this is gonna change my trajectory and things are gonna look up from here and it's gonna change. It's gonna change my career. That's not necessarily the case.
Yeah.
It's not gonna change anything maybe.
Yeah.
And I think I put myself in a position of, oh, this is really gonna help me, and then I went right back down to square one because that is the business we're in.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta keep going. This is it. This is the fucking roller coaster we're on, and
Yeah.
we're just doing it. You guys, we're on it. We might fly
Yeah.
off. I don't know.
Enjoy the ride for
So
what
just,
it
like,
is and
just-
have no expectations.
Yeah, have no expectations.
That's really good
because,
advice.
I don't know. That's me now learning.
No, I think that's really good advice because I have friends who are like, oh, I got this Chicago PD gig and that's just going to change my life. And it's like, I really hope you don't have that expectation going into it because then you're only going to have disappointment rather than being like, oh my God, I have this gig and I'm so excited about it and people are going to be able to see me. And like, that's great. And be
Yeah.
happy with that.
Yeah, keep humble. Just really expect nothing because it's not the case. Maybe it is for some people, but it's usually not.
Yeah.
So that's all I got.
No, I think
for
that's good
everybody.
advice.
For everybody.
After seeing how the industry's kind of changed over the past like 2 decades, what excites you about it?
Nothing.
Bleak.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Everything excites me because I think we're creating a lot of filmmakers now. I think it's in your own hands. I think a lot of your own content is coming out now and you have your own creative. I think it's kind of like, don't just be an actor, also be a writer, director, like put your hands in other.
Do you write?
That's a good question. I don't really write. I'm scared of it because I come from writers. So I
am also scared of it because my dad's a writer.
So I get very like, you guys are so good and
Mm-hmm.
talented. I'm scared to like, yeah. I have written, but
you guys read a lot of scripts.
Yeah, but I have the utmost respect for scripts and writers, and I'm like, I don't know, but I've written, but I've never showed anyone.
Do you have anything on your papers?
No.
Good. Well, we've been
Just
chatting
that
for
it's
2
a
hours, so
oh my God.
thank you so much for coming on the plank. You're an absolute pleasure.
You
It was
are.
so fun, and we'd love to have you back.
No,
great.
it's 2. I already gave everything. Like 2 hours was enough. No, I'm kidding. Thank you guys
You're
so
like,
much.
I've bled
Like,
out on this
We
podcast.
barely
No, that was
we barely
awesome.
covered Augie's
No,
long,
that was killer.
2-decade-long career. So
Shut up.
next time.
Hey, do we want to tell our listeners and viewers to subscribe?
Yes, subscribe. By the way, if I keep sharing stories and I fucking see you, if you see my story, and if I don't see you, follow me. Follow the plank. I'm gonna harass you. I see your asses. It's like you follow the story, you watch the story, but you didn't follow the plank, and that's a problem.
And you should
There's
follow
people like you.
at the Plank Podcast.
Yeah, at the
on
Plank
Instagram.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Anchor Bay. Subscribe to the Anchor Bay for our YouTube to get the subscribers up, man. I mean, guys.
Yeah,
come on.
I'm gonna
subscribe
do
to
that
the
now.
show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Yeah, if I act cold to you next time we meet, next time we see each other,
Yeah.
now you know why.
Drop a comment, hit a like.
All right, Augie, I love you. You're like,
I love you.
We're still here. We're still doing
Since
it.
camping.
This is so
And
fun.
I
Since
can't- and I
camping.
can't believe
She's
thank
an
you for-
Umbrella Anchor Bay sweetheart.
Yeah, she is. And you should see her shoes. She's wearing like Dorothy. Wizard of
Amazon.
Oz.
So cute.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
guys,
heels.
literally just scroll through our IMDb, pick a film, and watch it because there's so much to see.
I recommend Moon Garden, No, that's the other.
Breathing Happy.
Breathing Happy, Badger Game, of course.
Badger Game, of course.
Friends effing friends was good.
I wasn't in that. Jillian
No,
was.
you were in that.
I wasn't. No, I was in his other, The Narcissist.
Oh, the Narcissist. I've seen them both. Who is that
Quincy
guy?
Rose. Quincy
he's related
Rose.
to
He's
who?
an amazing filmmaker.
Isn't he related to someone? Isn't he somebody? Isn't he like?
He's an amazing director.
He's not who our guest is.
All right,
so
fine.
Mickey Rose, Mickey. Well, yeah, he.
I thought he was somebody. Anyway, all right.
Anyway,
somebody.
thank you, Augie. Thank you,
Augie.
everyone. Join us next week for the next episode of The Plank.
Boom. Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah.
Happy New Year. Good luck on that editing, man.
Hey, Josh does it to himself, so.
I don't know how you're going to do that.
On the blackest nights we sail through fog, two voices echo from the salty bog, with tales of movies and actors bold. Host Josh and Jillian, their stories unfold. Hold fast the wheel, listen to the jive, the Blank Podcast where legends vibe, from silver screens to haunted dreams, in Josh and Jillian's twisted schemes. Brought to you by Anchor Bay Entertainment. Now here's your hosts, Josh and Jillian. Yeah.